Hi Aquarius, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your October 16th to the 31st, 2021 money and career reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Now before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's let the bowls sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Aquarius, October 16th to the 31st, 2021 Aquarius, money and career. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. At the bottom is our rooted self. The left-hand side is our inner self. The middle, our heart, our emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So let's see what the cards have to say. We have the Devil, which is Capricorn energy coming through. If we're born on the cusp with Capricorn, that's going to be a very powerful thing. Or if we have Capricorn within our natal chart. Then we have the Lovers. So if we have Gemini within our natal chart, that's going to come through very powerfully also at our root. We have the Three of Air, the Three of Swords, and the Ten of Air. We can tend to be a lot in our own minds and also think, oh, well, this is the past just repeating itself again. Like, why even bother? It's very nihilistic attitude towards things. And Spirit is saying be mindful of that because that can be a downfall. We have Temperance, which is Sagittarius energy. So if we have Sagittarius within our natal chart, that's coming through very powerfully at our heart. We need balance. Again, we get into our own head a lot here with the Nine of Swords. And then we have the Five of Pentacles, which is a poverty mentality. And that's interesting. We then have the Three of Wands. There's new horizons opening up in the public arena. And we have the Ace of Cups, a healing of the heart. So everything balances itself up, balances itself out. But we feel like we go through a lot of ups and downs during this time. It's like a bit of a roller coaster. So understanding that is going to be half the battle to being able to get to where we want to be career-wise. Because we can sit there and say, well, what the heck does emotions and my mindset have to do with anything? And it has everything to do with it. It has the way that we show up for our careers, for our work or our jobs. You know, even if our job isn't our career, the way that we show up, the way that we interact with people, the way that we interact with ourselves, what we're saying to ourselves, what we expect from ourselves, that's going to be a really big thing. And if we can get out of our own heads and stop the negative thoughts, that's going to be really important. And even if we can just acknowledge that we have these negative thoughts and maybe I need to talk to somebody, you know, maybe I need to find this balance through open communication with another person, that's also going to be really, really powerful. It could be a friend, but I'm seeing here it's either more of a spiritual advisor or a, professional in one way or another that helps to ground us. But there's going to have to be a spiritual aspect to it during this time. And I don't know if you can hear my dog snoring in the background, but that's Esme, so don't pay her any mind. Let's look at the energy we have to be mindful of. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. It's the Prince of Pentacles. Okay, so when the Prince of Pentacles comes up in especially a money and career reading from this is the Druidcraft deck, his mouth is being covered by his shield. Somebody is not being open and honest with you when it comes to finances, when it comes to the way things are moving forward. If you're getting something done, there's going to be delays, and the person is going to be saying, oh, well, this has come up or that has come up, and, you have to expect this and you have to expect that. They're not going to give you a straight answer. Or there's going to be a sense of, like, if you're trying to progress somewhere, or if you're trying to, do something, there's going to be lies around money, because this person wants to get more money from you, or wants to be able to, like, hold on to the money that they have for as long as humanly possible. There's also going to be slow progress when it comes to this, so just be mindful of that, because you're going to find it to be very frustrating. It can also be during this time that we're not being given all the information that we need to be able to move forward with our finances, with the decisions that we need to make in the way that we want to make it. So just be aware of that. Our chakra energy, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. We have nurturing. Now, this is the Earth Star chakra located 6 inches below our feet. This is a nurturing of our hearts and our souls and ourselves, and a sense of, this is how I'm moving me forward. This is what I'm nurturing within me. This is what I need within me. This is, how I'm being grounded to this earth. And we're nurturing the child that we once were and the adult that we are. There's also this sense of, that's sweet, of needing to be somebody's treasure. And we could be having a really hard time. It's getting me emotional. We can be having a really hard time because it feels like there's just nobody that treasures us the way that maybe we were treasured when we were little, or the way that we saw other people be treasured during this time. And we can kind of get in our own heads about that and do some retail, therapy, shopping that we think, oh, that'll make me feel better. But it's this connection with ourselves. It's being able to fall in love with ourselves and the journey that we are on that's going to be so important. And that's where we step right in front of the devil here. We're looking at things, and we're looking at our hurts and our pains and our addictions and our coping mechanisms that we made when we were very small that don't help, but we thought they did. We thought these rituals could save us, could guide us in a different direction. And here with the devil, we're looking at things and we're saying, oh, this is where I stand now. This is the monster that I have to battle. This is the hurt and the pain and the disappointment that I have to be aware of. And here we're going to find that the things that we thought would make us successful, like, oh, if I only earn this much money, then I'm successful. Oh, if I only, do this, or if I only do that, then I've made it. And Spirit is saying, why is this your springboard? Why is this what you're basing yourself off of? There's more here, and there's more to you than what you realize. And as you're embracing this more, as you're embracing this understanding, you're breaking away from the devil. You're breaking away from the chaos. And the devil is simply chaotic energy coming forward and saying, I get to rule. And we're looking at this and we're saying, no, you don't. You don't get to rule, and I don't get to run away from what is uncomfortable. I'm looking at it dead in the eye, and I'm owning this situation. I might not be what other people expect me to be. I might not have become what I expected me to be. But the journey that I'm on is powerful, is intense, and is more than I could realize, like more than I thought I could embrace. And that becomes everything. And it moves us to the lovers. It moves us to the sense of, am I falling in love, or am I embracing what I love, where what I think I should love, or am I embracing this kind of like glittery sense of, this is what you should be, this is the passion, this is the beauty, this is everything, and not the depth. It's kind of like, is this lust or is this really love? Because here she's luring him into the water. It's kind of very much like a siren, and she has the skull underneath, and she has the skull here and the bones of her legs. She's not this beautiful being. And that's what we're seeing when we embrace love. It's like, it's warts and all. It's it's doing what we love and then realizing that even if we do what we love, we're not going to love it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It can become frustrating. It can become overwhelming. And this is going to be a time for us to say, what is it passionately, purposefully, powerfully that I'm being drawn towards? What is it that my heart needs, that my soul needs, that guides me? Because so much of our inner self is going to be focusing on the hurts that stepped into us, the hurts that defined us and define us in a very real way. This is a sense of my pain is me, and I am simply my pain. And this is a time where we're looking at things and we're getting too much in our own heads. And we're saying, this is my fault, or this should have been different, or I can't believe I've been betrayed this way. Why am I such a fool? And what Spirit is saying is that we are given sometimes these weights in life, these hurdles to overcome, these tremendous weights to bear that aren't fair, that aren't right. But it's almost like Spirit is saying here, and I know this sounds cliche, but nobody said this life was fair. And nobody said that life was going to be fair. And so here, to look at the hurt and the pain, and instead of looking at the world as this edited Instagram page, it's looking at the world and saying, it's messed up. It's not right. And it's never going to be what maybe it should be. There's always going to be corruption. There's always going to be hurt. There's always going to be people taking advantage. But I'm not letting that pain be my defining factor during this time. And that's going to be so big when it comes to our career, because it's like, I don't get to be defined by the failures, by the pain, by the hurt, by the overwhelmed, aspect of it. And that's important because psychologically, a person can be knocked down just so many times. And it depends on our own makeup, how many times we can be knocked down, how many times we can be hurt before we kind of give up. And for some people, it's one time. It's one time and it's like, oh my gosh, this is too much. I'm done. And what Spirit is saying here, it's like, don't give up on you, because actually every single pain, every single hurt that you have been through is now in your arsenal of fierceness, is now in your arsenal of, you know what? I'm wiser and smarter than I gave myself credit for, than others have given me credit for. I'm rising to new heights. This is the darkness before the dawn. The mind is going to tend to make a big deal out of things. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, I see it. Oh, I see why this is going on. Oh, I see why I'm being drawn to this. Oh, I see why, this intensity is coming in. And it's to have us resurrect. It's to have us rise forward. And it's to have us see ourselves powerfully and purposefully again. And it brings us into balance. It brings us to this place of balance, to this place of harmony, to this place of prosperity. It brings us to this inward place that says, I am finding the balance within me, which is so important because, again, we have sleepless nights. We have ourselves robbing ourselves of a job well done because we're going to think, oh, wow, I should have done more. It's never going to be enough. And Spirit's saying, stop it. Stop it right now. Because what you are doing is right. What you are doing is where you need to be. What you are seeing, what you are gaining an understanding of, that is everything. And it moves us to the pauper's mentality. And the pauper's mentality is saying sometimes we self-sabotage because we think we're supposed to be out in the cold. We don't think that place of solace and safety is for us. That can be for everybody else. But because we had negativity spoken over us, which is what a curse is, right? A curse is negativity that's spoken over us, that gets into our heads, that seeps into our minds like a little worm and takes root there and says, this is what you're worth. This could be from a parent. This could be from a guardian. This could be from a teacher. This could be from, a lover, a partner, whomever it is. This is from somebody, a friend who wanted to knock us down or who just, they didn't also know how to celebrate anybody but themselves. And money to them was something to be gotten and hoarded away like a dragon. And when it was supposed to be shared, when it was supposed to be, everybody coming together, they didn't want to do it. And so here, it's like we have suffered because of other people's stinginess. And that's something that happens in life. I mean, definitely. But there's a sense here of knowing that we're not alone and that we're moving to a place where we can start to be able to see our prosperity, because in our career, we're having this new dawn. We're having this sense of freedom. We're having this sense of breaking expectations and breaking, through we thought was going to be defining us forever. And here there's a new dawn, there's a new day, there's a new passion, there's a new insight. And it's like, I can move forward like this. I can go after this. I can embrace what I need, what I desire, and where it is that I want to be. I am opening up the door, and there's nothing and no one who's going to be able to stop me. And as I do this, and as I embrace this, I embrace myself. And it brings us to the Ace of Cups. It brings us to this beautiful place of healing. It brings us to this beautiful place of all the stagnation that's been held within our hearts is washing up and like moving away. It's like sewer sludge that's leaving. We can be very sensitive during this time, so we do have to be mindful of that. But we are also going to be very empowered, very emboldened, very much knowing our own mind and what we need and what we're saying and what we're seeing and where it is that we want to be, because our hearts are us and we are our hearts. And there is just this beautiful power of love, of connection. And we have to, and it is a have to here. It's kind of like we have to get out of our own way, and we have to be able to embrace wealth, because that wealth then starts to come in. It's not saying, oh, well, I'm entitled to this or I'm entitled to that. It's not being like a spoiled, petulant child. What it is being is this person who understands that every single hardship has forged them in a different way. It's kind of like the fires have purified and the fires have been intense. It moves us to our subconscious energy to be mindful of, and that's the Princess of Pentacles. Now, this is an immaturity around money. It can be that we're dealing with somebody who's very immature with money, who has a tendency to spend frivolously. We can be dealing with somebody who I'm also seeing very much like just a sense of shopping therapy. So I don't know if that's for us necessarily or if that's for another person here, but like another person within our lives. But there's going to be the sense of having to deal with somebody who just isn't doing things properly. Now, it can also be that at work, like if they're making up the budget or if they're allocating the hours, they're not going to be fair with it. And that's going to be something that we have to be mindful of. They're going to be very immature with things. Kind of like if you tick them off, they're going to make sure that you're punished. And that's just not cool. So do be mindful of that. Our subconscious chakra energy is angels and masters. This is the soul star chakra located 6 inches above our crown. Subconsciously, we are protected. Subconsciously, we are guided. Subconsciously, we are falling into alignment with ourselves, and divinity is honoring us as we are honoring divinity. And that's pretty cool. It moves us to our subconscious rooted message, and that is, we have strength here. Well, that is the Hierophant, which is Taurus energy. And with this coming forward, it's saying we have to be true to ourselves. We have to be true to who we are, to what we desire, to what we need, to the place that we want to stand within our world. And as we are true to ourselves, we can see ourselves manifesting more. We can see ourselves moving forward more. But there's this real sense of, I need to honor. I need to honor what is intrinsically important to me, what is, truth and passion and power and insight for me. And that becomes the game changer here. It's an orthodoxy. It's not saying that we have to follow other people's rules or other people's religions or anything like that. What it is saying is that we need to start stepping into what is sacred for us. And that sacredness, that connection is the game changer. It moves us to our subconscious inner self. And we have the 5 of fire. And this is, it's so interesting because in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, the 5 of wands is chaos. It's arguments for the sake of arguments. And we can find that during this time because we have such kind of open wounds coming forward here. We can find that we're quick to argue and that we're used to chaos. We're thinking, okay, it just all has to fall apart. It's all going to be chaotic. It's not going to be what I need or what I want or what it is that I thought it was going to be. But what Spirit is showing here with the butterflies and this new dawn, it's this change after the chaos. It's a sense of, oh, but this is the road. Like, this is the way I get to move forward. Oh, this is what I desire. And it brings us to our subconscious emotional self. And that is the Page of Cups. Now we become a student of our hearts. Now we, sit there opened to our hearts, cloaked by our heart chakra, and find inspiration in the oddest of places. And find that even though there's all this chaos here, we are embracing that balance. We are embracing who we are and what we need and what we desire from life. And we're finding that we're students. We're finding that we're children. We're finding that we are connecting with that inner child, and we're connecting with love. We're connecting with security, and we're safe. And that is exactly what we needed to hear. It moves us to our subconscious public arena self, and that's the 9 of wands. This isn't This isn't everybody else's battle. You know, this isn't everybody gets to have a say in our lives, gets to tell us what to do, how to be. This is a time where we get to say, but this is me. Like, I've stood through so much chaos and I've lived through this chaos because it is my life. And I get to stand in the power of my understanding, in the power of my truth, of my determination, of my focus, of myself. And this is the game changer for me. With the Nine of Wands, there's a sense of everybody wanting to do their own thing, you know, or everybody wanting to attack in their own way, kind of go after things in their own way. And what we're going to have to say here is like, I'm done with the battles. I'm done with the endless fighting. And now it is time for me to heal. And now it is time for me to acknowledge that I'm stronger and better than I gave myself credit for. All right, Aquarius. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power that is us. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Aquarius.